Hatikva, Hope, is the name of the Israeli national anthem, here playing for the German president in Jerusalem. For Joachim Gauck, this was a special state visit, as it is for any German politician.
More than 7 decades after the Shoah, the crimes against humanity committed by the Germans against the Jews, I come to you as the highest representative of Germany. I feel the responsibility of this visit.
Statements like that were well received by the Israeli president, Shimon Peres, who gave his German counterpart a warm and heartfelt welcome. Gauck seemed both moved and confident, which also impressed Israeli observers.
Here again, we see a person who represents more of a moral personality, and that's very important for Israel.
Gauck has set some personal points on this trip. This event was especially important to him, meeting with the survivors of the Israeli Olympic team from the 1972 Munich Games and the family members of those murdered in the hostage-taking.
We talked about back then and what we experienced. It's good that after 40 years, someone is asking us what we went through.
It's the dark moments of German history that Gauck is recalling on his visit. The Hall of Names at Yad Vashem, a memorial to the 6 million Jews killed in the Holocaust. At the end of that visit, Gauck took time to write in the guest book, an entire page, his way of leaving behind a message that will last.
So you stand here, and your heart, your mind and your conscience tell you, never forget, never. And remain true to the country that here remembers those who are not permitted to live.
He says that's one reason why Germany will always stand beside Israel. But he stops short of saying clearly what that might mean in the case of war with Iran.
I don't want to imagine every scenario that might get the German Chancellor into enormous difficulty should she have to implement politically her statement that Israel's security is a reason of state for Germany.
He chose different words from the Chancellor, who has said that Israel's security is in Germany's deepest interest. Instead, he warned against escalating the conflict. But he did speak more clearly about the Palestinian question during a state dinner. Here he supported the two-state solution and criticized Israel's settlement policy.
Mr. President, the current Palestinian leadership, according to your and my conviction, wants peace. But it must assert that position in the face of radical forces. That is why my country and the European Union and I wish that Israel would send a message with its settlement policy.
He emphasized what he meant by that later on with a visit to the West Bank. The journey took him past Jewish settlements. Joachim Gauck was warmly welcomed in the Palestinian town of Burin, where he inaugurated a school for girls. It's one of 80 being built with German aid. He said access to education was also important in state building.
This is what a future Palestinian state will depend on, just as in Germany and every other free democratic society in the world. Politically mature citizens who are able to take responsibility. Every country is dependent on that.
Germany is one of the biggest suppliers of aid here, and the Palestinians, including the PLO, are also hoping Gauck will send a clear political message.
We want to bring to bear his position on human rights, his position on issues of freedom, justice, human dignity, as a sort of framing values for getting rid of the Israeli occupation and granting the Palestinians their freedom and their dignity.
And the Palestinian schoolgirls want to know from Gauck just what the German support will be.
The German government and the European countries are holding talks with Israel that are also critical of the settlements and the way the settlements are being expanded. You can assume that I will do that too.
On this trip, Joachim Gauck has won the sympathies of both Palestinians and Israelis. He can't create peace on his own, but he's provided some food for thought in his own way.